So last week we were talking about spending the blood points on killer and starting to play more killer, specifically because playing killer with no perks and no add-ons after 5 years got really old. And I wanted to reassure people that I could always keep making looping guides. Specifically, I had enough examples on any tile on any map that I could literally have pretty much every single scenario covered just purely with examples alone, because I have over 7,000 full Survivor games saved on an 8 terabyte hard drive. Now, naturally, that led to people having some fun in the comments being like, we need a 1v1 Z-Wall compilation. Z-Wall Ultimate Juicing Guide when? Let me see them Z-Wall clips, bud. Well, your wish is my command. Here is a killer literally DCing because they lost the 1v1 at a Z-Wall. Whoa there, buddy. Do you count that as winning a 1v1 on the Z-Wall? Yes, I think that counts. Now, obviously, that's not going to happen every single time you run a Z-Wall, or literally ever again, at least in my case. But that's one of the reasons that makes Z-Walls so much fun, and literally the biggest meme out of any loop in all of DBD. Because when you run up to a Z-Wall, knowing that it's just a teeny tiny little tile in the corner of the map usually, that has one vault in the middle, you know that you're going to go down probably in less than 10 seconds. Even 15 seconds, I would consider like a huge success at Z-Walls. Anything longer than like 15 seconds at a Z-Wall, I think of as like the dream. But it keeps Z-Walls being so much fun because you always expect to go down, and you're facing a 50-50 pretty much every time you turn the corner, whether you vault and they could double back, or you don't vault and they don't double back and they hit you, or even when you turn the corner here and then they mind game around this way, especially if they're a killer not tall enough for you to see over this. And that is in comparison to running something like a main building where you run into maybe one 50-50 every time you go around the building. You run one circle around that main loop, get back into the garage, greed the pallet one time, that's your one 50-50, and if it works, you jump the window, and you're not going to get another 50-50 until you run all the way back around that building and back to that pallet. But that's why running into a 50-50 literally every time you turn a corner on a Z-Wall becomes just so much fun and enticing to run over and try to get some value out of. Now, every now and then you'll have a Z-Wall close enough to a tile or to shack window or something like that where you are trying to connect it, and that's what makes it fun in itself, is trying to get literally just one vault out of the Z-Wall, loop around it maybe one time, and make it back to something else that is loop worthy. That's really when you would try to incorporate it naturally and try to get actual value out of it. But most of the time when you're running to a Z-Wall, you're just expecting to have some fun memes and go down in about 5 seconds. And when you do see a Z-Wall even remotely close to anything that you could even slightly connect it to, trust me, you're going to end up going out of your way to try to connect it because it's just that much fun. But that's getting way ahead of ourselves. First, we got to go over what a Z-Wall is and where to find them usually. So a Z-Wall might not even look like a Z-Wall sometimes, but you still refer to them as a Z-Wall. In the first 3 realms, they were all shaped like Z-Walls. The only difference would be it might be a little bit thinner, the walls aren't quite as thick, or the walls on here aren't quite as far out like on the Coldwind ones, but they can be shaped differently. And when newer maps and realms come out, they can be shaped nothing like a Z-Wall really, but all you're essentially calling a Z-Wall is one of those garbage filler tiles at the very far corner of the map that can either be a straight line or a curve or something, as long as it has one window right in the middle for you to have a vault opportunity to try to win or lose some 50-50s. As we just said, the great majority of them are shaped exactly like a Z, and that's where it gets its original name Z-Wall. But other maps are shaped completely differently. Irie has a few different Z-Walls. One right here looks more like a U-Wall with the window literally not even in the middle of the structure. And this one over here kind of looks more like a uneven H, with one of the sides of the H not even really going that high. Borgo's realm has similar things too, where this technically is not a Z-Wall. It's more like a 7-wall with one window and a bigger wall around this way with a straight edge over that way. They also have a U-Wall where it literally looks like one little U with a window almost directly in the middle, and the thing that makes it sort of directly in the middle in terms of distance is having this little tree on the edge here. But most Z-Walls and most realms and maps are going to be shaped just like a Z, no matter how thin they may be. This one is a bit shorter. These are the ones that spawn on Temple of Purgation and Mother's Dwelling. And they'll pretty much always be located in the far corner of the map, away from anything important. Now, that's a good and a bad thing. The bad thing is you have to go so far out of your way if you actually genuinely want to just try looping a Z-Wall. The good thing is, because it's so far away, that even if you don't spend much time looping the Z-Wall, they still have to spend a lot of time getting back to anywhere important. And sometimes this actually is necessary and not just trying to have some fun on a Z-Wall. Because say we're trying to take the killer away from a few people healing, and they're healing like right here. We see the killer coming this way, and we just need to drag them as far as possible. A killer hits us, we don't want to loop the main building because that's too close to where they're getting healed. So we just drag them as far as possible that we can get to, and then we end up finding a Z-Wall in the corner of the map. Then that's what it turns into a lot of fun. Well, here we go, Z-Wall. Time to get as much value as we possibly can on this thing, which really is not much. Like, if you even get 15 seconds worth out of a Z-Wall, that is, anything beyond that is like beyond expectations and really kind of just a dream. But even if you can get like like 5, maybe even 10 seconds off a Z-wall, that's still pretty much a success, specifically because they had to spend all the time getting to it and then get back away from it. Now, fun thing about them being in the far corner of the map, if you're completely zoned out, not even on purpose and we're trying to drag the killer, is since they look just like a lot of the other big walls that are out in the corner of the map that you can sort of hide behind most of the time, because of that, it's hard for us or the killer even to differentiate which ones look like Z-walls or not, so you can get farther and sometimes even make it up to a Z-wall when you had no business making it there, because the killer might think that you hid behind one of these or change directions to try to mind game them, and you just keep making it farther and farther until eventually you find yourself at a Z-wall. This scenario right here, we have a jungle gym here, but let's just say that didn't happen. We just kept zoning us farther and farther. You can literally make it to a Z-wall just because of all that other garbage in the way, with the killer trying to decide whether you're mind gaming them or not, just for them to mind game themselves and allow you the distance just to make it to a Z-wall, which sucks. It is just a Z-wall. It's a lot of fun, but it does kind of suck. But the fact that you can use all those little pieces of rubble and random walls to sort of inch further to a Z-wall where you actually have something to loop, and this has happened multiple times. Ah! I'm running into literally everything. I have to hold a straight line because he has me zoned out. That's hilarious. I'm not going to make it to anything. What the fuck? Why is he letting me go? He lose me? What? I could have made it to something because he lost me. What in the absolute shit? Oh my god. We have a Z-wall over here, maybe? Trying to find a Z-wall. Damn, there ain't no Z-wall. What the fuck? This killer's like, what the fuck? Oh, here we go. Look at the Z-wall. As we were saying earlier, sometimes you'll have a Z-wall right next to something that you really want to try to get some value off of. It's like, say you turn around this, you jump this, whichever way they push you around a long way, and then you're trying to get a window vault here, right? Or if you don't get the window vault, you're going to try to make it to that pallet right here, especially if the killer mind games themselves, because sometimes it's close enough to a jungle gym or a loopable tile where you genuinely go out of your way to try to incorporate it just for fun, because that genuinely is one of the most fun things in the entire game, is seeing a Z-wall close to something and trying to get some value out of it, where you got one loop, one vault, and get back to the other tile that you got in the first place. But most of the time, that's just not going to be the case. That's the case more often on this realm. That's why I loaded up this realm as well. On Temple of Purgation and Mother's Dwelling, more often than any other map have I seen a Z-wall close enough to something to actually try to get value off of and connect it to something. But most of the time, you're just going to find a Z-wall in the corner of the map that'll give you something really poopy to try to buy some type of time off of after running all the way to the corner to drag the killer away from everything important. With all that being said, let's go over some of the little tactics you can use on Z-walls. So obviously the Z-wall, what you really want to do is just run in a tight circle over and over, letting the killer mind game themselves. You do want to pause a little bit at these edge corners, and you can turn the corner to see through the window to see if they continued on or if they double back this way. These killers are going to try to mind game you a little bit, because if they win even 1 inch of a mind game, they're pretty much guaranteed to get a hit. But that's what's really fun about it, is you just keep running without vaulting, at least for your first few loops. Just run right in this corner without vaulting. It's funny talking about checkpoints because you can't really wait too long at a checkpoint, but you always want to make sure your camera's the first thing around and the last to leave, so you can see behind yourself and then the front of yourself right there to see if they double back or not. Now, the fun thing about it is if you're in the mentality of not vaulting the window, the killer can double back expecting you to vault the window, and then if they double back right when you vaulted the window, even if you got a fast vault, you're going to take a hit. So that's why your first few times running around it, you just want to not vault whatsoever. You just want to let the killer mind game themselves, and after a few times of the killer mind gaming themselves, then you want to throw a vault in just for fun. And it can be a fast vault or even a medium vault. I've definitely threw in a medium vault and had that work out as well. Double back. A medium vault this. But it makes it so much fun every time you win one of these 50-50s or even get one circle around, because you run to a Z-wall expecting to go down pretty much immediately. But because of it being such an easy thing to mind game, the killers will try to mind game a lot and will give you a few extra seconds. And a few extra seconds at a Z-wall feels like a few extra minutes in terms of fun, because trust me, every single time you get one loop around the Z-wall, the fun gets exponentially higher. There's a few obvious things to point out, like this is not a tile that you can try to have some fun looping with friends. This tile is too small for even one survivor to be on. If you're going to have 2 survivors at a Z-wall, somebody's going down, probably both of you, but guaranteed at least somebody's going down right away. Oh my god. Now, another thing to think about is projectile killers. When you're running right towards a Z-wall, the first thing you're going to have to do is try to juke it, whether it's a crouch juke or you're too close to even crouch juke and you just run right into it before going inside, but you want to sell a little bit. You don't want to just run right around it because they're not going to shoot at you, or they'll try to shoot at this corner before you go around and you'll get hit. So it's really fun against projectile killers to run right at it and then juke it, and that'll start off the chase in style against projectile killer. Here comes the Z-wall of truth. Yes! Here comes the 1v1 Z-Wall. And then obviously against projectile killers, you have to worry about them throwing, shooting, or doing something through the actual window itself. But you're a little skeptical to try to wait for a second, because if you wait for a second, you're pretty much giving up an M1. So it's really funny trying to loop this, and if you do go around the corner, you stop like here-ish or here-ish. You don't want to stop like here waiting to see if they come around the corner because you're going to give up an N1. But it is really fun when you're running around this and you still end up dodging a projectile from like a Huntress.
Well, at least you can now stop.
Or a Slinger. Oh, good shit. Or a Nemesis. Because once again, it crosses your mind of like, holy shit, we actually made a skill play at a fucking Z-Wall. It can work against a nurse too, where they come up to the Z-Wall, they see you, and then they blink through that. But this kind of turns a Z-Wall into any other scenario. Like, you'd have just as much luck running around this thing and trying to cut back versus a nurse as a Z-Wall would. A Z-Wall essentially turns right into it else. That doesn't stop you from trying to get some value, and every now and then actually getting some value off of a nurse. The famed strongest killer of the game, losing a 1v1 at a Z-Wall. Z-Wall, save me now. It did! Woo! Give me that Z-Wall. The Z-Wall answers all prayers. Now, is that likely to happen? Absolutely not, but it's possible. And that's the thing if you're playing a game of odds, which DBD 100% is, especially with all this RNG and winning and losing 50-50s being like the core mechanic of looping in general, which presents the idea of if there's a possibility of it happening, it probably will happen at some point. And that's what makes Z-Walls great. You're going there with no expectations, just expecting for nothing to go right. And anytime any even singular thing goes right, it makes the entire game worth it. And just for percentages, here's what you can expect while running to a Z-Wall. And just having as much fun, even though this is exactly what you expected. No, you're supposed to swing. Damn it. Another Z-Wall. Damn it. You know, never double back. Z-Wall! Damn it. Once more. Dang. I have a pal back here. That'd be hilarious. No, I don't. They got another Z-Wall though. Damn. Yes! The Z-Wall value. Damn it. I didn't think they would have let. I shouldn't have hesitated. No! Yes. Yes! I was just talking about the Z-Wall value. Fault it. He didn't swing that time. Damn it. Z-Wall! You already know. Oh my god, you're a menace. I've got a split. Here comes the Z-Wall of truth. Damn it! Z-Wall. Yes! Here comes the 1v1 Z-Wall. I love it. Are you gonna vault it? I'm gonna vault it. Oh, you vault it again! Why didn't you vault it again? Had to run across the map for this. It better be good. Jump it. And jump it. Damn it. Z-Wall, Z-Wall, Z-Wall. 1v1 on the Z-Wall. Yeah, good shit. The fuck was that? Medium vault. No, it almost worked. I really wish that those hitboxes were an actual thing. That missed me by like 10 feet behind my ass. Yeah, that's what I wanted on this original Z-Wall. Oh my god, it worked! How did I get... I never get value out of that fucking thing. It worked. Oh, back. And medium vault those. Oh, shit. Ah! Medium vault those. Damn it. Where was that Z-wall at? Here's one. No! Vaulted! Ah! No! On the Z-wall. Damn it. Now, on the contrary, you're obviously going to have times where you run to the Z-wall and everything goes your way. Every single possible little 50-50 works. You get multiple vaults off this, sometimes even 3 vaults off of it before taking a hit. And those are the ones that makes you feel like you won the lottery. And those are really why you run to the Z-wall, because it's kind of like those loops, like the Scooby-Doo loop or the Midwich Clock Tower loop, where you run to the loop with no intention of actually winning the 1v1 there or safely making it away. You run to those loops for the pure fun of running them over and over until they finally backfire. And the longer it goes on, the more fun you have. So even if it goes on forever or you get downed immediately, it's fun either way, because you go there just being like, okay, we're gonna go and greed this pallet over and over until it works. And just like those two as well, you will have those chases that went on for an unnecessarily long amount of time. But here's some of the chases where it rose way above expectations in order of least lucky to out of this world, you should go buy a lottery ticket immediately after finishing this chase type of lucky. Make this, that'll be hilarious. Yeah. Random Z-wall value. Yeah. Oh, heck. Damn it. Damn. Z-wall! Let's go. Medium vault. Oh my god. Vault it. No! I should have faked it. Yeah, I legit like can't see him. No! No! Oh damn. No, I get hit. No! No! I want a Z-wall fight. Is this the Z-wall fight? Yeah. Jump it again. No! Yes. No! I was so close to 3 vaults on the Z-wall. Here comes the Z-wall. The Z-wall, or T-wall technically, right? Damn. I need to pull him away from the basement. I do not remember where the exit gate was either. No! No! Yes! No! No! Yes! That guy got fucked over. Z-wall! Yes! The Z-wall giveth. Big goofy turnaround, but it doesn't matter because Z-wall is OP. Let me vault this one here. No! This killer's like, what the fuck? Oh, here we go. Look at the Z-wall. Oh, damn. Yeah. I got the Z-wall value. We were talking about this shit earlier. Oh, damn. I went too wide. What if you ran around this and back to the Z-wall? No! Damn it. Oh my god. Oh shit. No! Try to vault it. Vault it. Fuck hell. That was the third one! Fucking A. Well, I'm fucked now. Damn. There. Yeah! Here we go! The 1v1 Z-wall. Oh shit. Yeah, jump it at some point. There was the time. Oh god. Oh my god! Jump it. Damn it. Jump. Yeah, Z-wall value. Vault it. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of Z-wall value. No! Damn, I should have bought. Z-wall. Here comes the 1v1 at the Z-wall. Yeah, I thought he was gonna shoot. Damn it. I was like, now is the time to vault. I want to go back to it, actually. 1v1 Z-wall again, that's fun. Yeah. Yes! Oh, good shit. Oh, fuck! That was the play. That's like, that was right there is actually like a clear difference on why Survivor is so much easier than Killer. Survivor, all you gotta do is be at the right place at the right time and make the right play. Swing in. Yay! But Killer has to do all that and like hit a shot or hit a melee or something like that, or hit a power. Yay! Strike 3! Damn, good shit. Now, every once in a great while, you actually will run to the Z-wall, win the 1v1, and make it away safely. But this pretty much never happens. Medium vault! Oh my god, they vaulted it, though. Yay! The circle. Literally make it. Z-wall. Here comes the Z-wall. Oh, back. He did. Medium vault this. Yes! We actually got the Z-wall value! Woo! We made it away from the Z-wall. So now we got to talk about getting actual value off of the Z-wall, because this is the most fun thing. When you see a Z-wall close to literally anything that you can feel like you're going to try to connect it to, that creates a huge challenge that you really want to try. And like I said earlier, on Temple of Purgation and Mother's Dwelling seems to be the most common maps where a Z-wall is sort of close enough to something to be able to connect it to, but most maps they're going to be in the far corner, and that's why it makes it so exciting when you have a Z-wall right there close enough to something where you're like, ooh, I wonder if we can actually get value out of it. And what I think of as actual value out of the Z-wall is getting one full circle around it, preferably a vault before getting that full circle, and then making it back to the tile you were looping in the first place. So right here, say we were up here, we greeted this pallet, the killer respected a little bit, then we vault this window, the killer goes back that way, then we turn this corner, and then we vault the Z-wall. Now we're at the Z-wall, and if we somehow were able to get one loop around it like that, that counts as a loop since we vaulted it, and then make it back to either the window or make it back to the pallet, that right there is considered true successful value of a Z-wall, just like this one here. Z-wall value! Now, there's a few different things that you can try to connect a Z-wall to that are not just loopable objects, but it is incredibly hard because of specifically how small a Z-wall is. So one thing that I always try, and I will continue to try, is when you get something like a rock or a big log or something right in front of a Z-wall, and you try to do the thing where you vault the Z-wall, then you capitalize on the distance made, and you try to run around said rock or log or pile of rubble or something like that and make it back to the Z-wall. And because they're so small, this is almost impossible. I can get value off this one. Can I get it to it again? No, I can't! It's too big! No! Damn it! Won't stop you from trying, but at the same time, one of the only times I was actually successful in that is when I took a hit, tried to run it somewhere else, found out that there was nothing else I was going to go to, and then just looped right back around to the Z-wall. And I don't even know if that counts.
Damn. I get some Z-wall value.
But just like anything else, it makes it a lot of fun to even just try it, just because a Z-wall is really risky, and trying to loop around a rock and a Z-wall and combining the two to get value, that's just way too much fun to not at least try. What if you ran around this and back to the Z-wall? No! Sometimes you'll even have a dream come true where you have a Z-wall facing another Z-wall, and you can just run back and forth between the two Z-walls, which is like Z-wall fun squared. This wall, that's funny. Do we get value off the Z-wall? Jump it. Yes! We make it back. Holy shit! Actual value! I don't think I make it. Swing. Yes! We make it to this fucking shit over here? We're not gonna make it. But in reality, most of the time that you're trying to connect a Z-wall, it's going to be next to like a jungle gym or something like that. And the biggest, most fun part about this is not giving up, because if you run to it one time and you get down, like that's what you expect. But it's a Z-wall, so it's not going to be a pallet that's going to get thrown. It's always going to be next to there. So it's so much fun trying to go back to the Z-wall over and over and trying to connect it to whatever tile spawned right next to it. Here's two different examples where I kept running back to that Z-wall to get value off of it 3 different times to have both of them work on the very last time running to it. And that's what makes it worth trying, because look how much fun this was. I think I actually didn't need to take that hit. Man, I hate looping Shack. Shack is boring AF. I'd rather loop the fucking Z-wall here. Does he respect this? And the Z-wall? Back into Shack. Oh, big goofy turnaround. Boo. Big goofy turnaround again. Boo. That's going to be a difference between being able to greet the pallet or not. Damn it. But what if we can do the Z-wall on Shack again? Make the Z-wall back to the pallet. No, medium ball! I skill issued it after all that! That sucketh. That sucks. I was gonna leave and go to Shack, and right when I did, he committed around the corner. I was like, no! Alright, here we go. Last time. Last 1v1. Jump it. Alright, greet it, greet it, greet it, greet it. No! Yes! Yes! We did it! Finally! It took 3 fucking tries. Woo! Oh god. Hey! We have O penis with a fucking Z wall, dude. No! I blew it! Yes! He dropped it! He moved it! Let's go! I can't get anywhere though. Yes! He put it too far away. But he bamboozled the Z wall. I don't think I'd ever would have thought I would say that before. He bamboozled the Z wall. Can I make it? To the Z wall? Double back. Yes! No, bamboozle! Oh my god, did I sandbag him? What the fuck? And the reason that is so much fun is because of how scandalous it felt. There's no reason we should be getting value off of a fucking Z wall on the corner of the map, but the fact that you can get even one loop around it and make it back somewhere safe just makes it feel like some of the most fun you could possibly have in all of DBD, especially on Survivor. And even if you try to connect something and you loop the Z wall and you jump back to the tile that you were at, even if it doesn't work and it backfires, it is still so much fun because it feels so scandalous and naughty just to try something that you knew for a fact wouldn't work. And even when it just came right there and fell just a little bit short, it doesn't matter because it was so much fun just to try it in the first place. Can we make it? No, it was so close! Oh my god! So here are all the Z-wall chases I have where it's close enough to something where you're genuinely trying to connect it whether it goes well or not. And the chases are ordered from least effective, where it failed but you were really close, to holy shit, this will never happen again. That was the most value I've ever seen out of a Z-wall. 90-second chase, basically. Try to make a play out of this and get to the pallet. No! Good shit. No! I should have just went wide. Damn! We make it? We did, but we agreed it. You make it to another Z-wall? Or the other pallet? Damn it. I want to use the Z-wall. Juke it. No, you didn't go for it. Jump it. Can we make it? No, it was so close. Oh my god. Right. Oh, fuck. I did not have the distance here. Z-wall action. Hey, did we get Z-wall value because 110 killer? We did. No! Some of the other ones are just like a hard running vault makes like a certain window hard. Ooh, we got a Z-wall right there. We'll try to get some Z-wall value. Read it. Get some more Z-wall value. No! Yeah, I love some Z-wall value.
Damn. I get some Z-wall value. Yes, dude! No! Yes!
Z-wall. Ooh, let's go Z-wall. We try to Z-wall it. Yeah, can we make it back to Z-wall? Yay! Oh my god, it's blocked. I'm not making it nowhere now. I want to get used out of the Z-wall, dude. Oh no! Yes! Dang. Alright, 1v1 Z-wall. Let's do it. I love Z-wall. This is one of my favorite tiles in the game right now. This shit's hilarious. Double back. Double back. Double back! Damn it! Run through this here, and then keep chase here. I'm gonna try to get back to that Z-wall again. It's gonna happen. Ready? Right here. No! Damn it! Ooh, Z-wall. Here we go again. No! He has the boozle. Now I get the Z-wall now, right? No! I should have jumped it. I wanted him to double back. Where I was getting somebody out of the basement. Oh god. Here I am. He's got infectious fright. Yay, Z-wall value. I need to go to the Z-wall again. Bow. Yay! Oh! Yes! Damn. He knows the way. Damn it. I'm gonna run to this thing. Yes! The Z-wall value. Let's go. Yeah! Yes! It's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. And then I skill shoot it. God damn it. Can I make it back to that, or is it too far? It'd be fun to try it again. Gotta strike out at the Z-wall, though, right in the beginning. Let's go. I can't vault it again, though, actually. I can only vault it one more time. Oh, damn it!
No, there's a par in this loop.
Here comes the Z-wall. Are you ready for it? Here comes the Z-wall action. Damn it. It didn't work. Haha! The Z-wall action. Damn it. Didn't work forever. Let's go back to the Z-wall. That was funny. Back to the Z-wall action.
Well, at least you can now stop.
Oh my
You can
god.
now stop like clipping on Batham. Look at the bright side.
Oh my god, the 1v1 Z-wall is actually happening. Oh my god. Damn it. I actually got it to go with the 1v1 Z-wall. Got window. Ooh, Z-wall. Make a Z-wall value. I don't think I can. Yes! Did I do this? Damn it. I shouldn't have. I should have faked it. I want the Z-wall value. Z-wall! Yes! That's actual Z-wall value. Let's go. Because it made it back safely and didn't take a hit. Oh shit, they got that lusty blood though. Dang it. And just as a cherry on top, here's a few times we got Z-wall value out of Nintendo Switch looping while waiting for a killer game in the 2v8 while we'd play survivor games on Nintendo Switch. And when I mean this is rough, it's rough. This is what we call DBD by Tim Burton because it looks like stop motion frames on top of an insane input lag. And what I mean by input lag, I mean you have to press your button like a quarter second early because it takes a second for it to actually register. So even on Nintendo Switch, you can have some fun getting Z-wall value. Z-wall value! I don't think I make this, do I? Oh, fuck. Put it down. We got actual Z-wall value. Let's go. Z-wall. We got Z-wall value on Nintendo Switch. Oh my god. That was so close. I was like, are we gonna escape because of that? That would have been amazing. We actually got Z-wall value on Nintendo Switch. Oh my god.